Hello.
Hi.
I'm Seth.
I'm Megan.
We are Fitness Porter.
My favorite.
No.
But I appreciate the effort.
What would, if we were to say our name, like our business name, and we wanted it to be on brand, what would it sound like?
Fitness Porter.
No, I think it'd be a little more like, hey, we are fitness. Kids, put that down. We are making a video. Porter.
That was good.
Is it?
Yeah.
So we help people get kind of unstuck with diet and exercise, especially people who have families with young kids who need a more realistic approach. You hit our age, you feel like what worked for you doesn't work anymore because your body is older and you've got kids, but you know what, we're not old, so we shouldn't feel old.
Yeah.
Like diet and exercise should work, and it can, and it does. And so if you feel like it's not, we can show you why that's happening. And in fact, that's what we're going to talk about with this today is my metabolism damaged? Because a lot of times it does feel like something is wrong with your body. and so maybe it's your metabolism. So that's what we're going to discuss today.
Okay.
So I wrote a blog, and we're going to just kind of go through the blog, but we're going to dig into a little bit more detail and just, you'll see. Like, we're not just literally going to read line for line and then be done. We're going to go through it. And if you've got something you want to say to interrupt, then go for it. Because I know she will. I didn't have to tell her to do that.
We have a talk after this video.
I'm sure we will. After every video, we have a talk.
If you prefer to read
Yeah, go ahead.
the blog, are you making faces?
No, no.
If you prefer to read and to digest the content, we can send you the link so you can consume it that way. Just let me know in the comments or in a message, and I can get that over to you.
All right, so if you're having trouble losing weight, or maybe you lost some weight, but then it just kind of stopped, so you might want to blame your metabolism. I feel like that is a common thing that people want to blame for why they're unable to lose weight. And the truth is, your eating habits can affect your body so that you don't burn as many calories as what you normally would. So, and we'll touch more on that in a little bit. But the question is it possible that you've somehow caused irreparable damage to your metabolism and you're now doomed to this life of excess weight gain so that you add pound after pound even if you just breathe near a cookie?
Yeah. Or if there's nothing you can do and it's totally out of your control. I feel like that's how people feel, like it's out of their control.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so that's what we're going to go into. Now, first of all, raise your hand. We will, through the power of the interwebs, we will feel whether you're doing this or not. So raise your hand. You're so proud of me.
Do you know how this works?
No, I don't understand webs. Raise your hand if you've attempted to lose weight by ramping up the cardio and eating a whole lot less. So there you go. Raise your hand if after having a treat or you're on this diet, you're doing great, but you slip up on it, and so you decide you're going to do a bunch of extra exercise to make up for it because you ate this treat. Sure, okay. Now, raise your hand if after putting in all that work, doing all the things that you're supposed to do, you got minimal results at best, and then it all just stopped. Yeah, okay.
That's
so
3 for 3.
There you
Do
go.
I win?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Do you? Are you still there today, or have you?
No.
There you go. So I say you win. Normally, though, at this point, that's when you would insert the comment: "My metabolism is damaged. I can't lose weight."
Yeah.
So if you do relate to this, if you raise your hand, even just mentally, the first thing you should know is that your struggles might not actually have anything to do with your metabolism at all, and this is really important. So pay attention because a lot of times the truth is you're probably just eating more calories than you think. So counting calories for most people is really not a great strategy. We don't have any of our clients do it. And there are a lot of ways to mess it up. So 99 times out of 100, that's really what's going on. But for the sake of the rest of this blog, we're just going to assume that's not the case. We're going to assume you're doing everything right. And let's say that your metabolism really has slowed down. The good news is that doesn't mean that it's broken. So your body has just simply adapted to what you're doing, to the diet, to the exercise.
So there's hope.
There is hope.
Okay.
So your body works really hard to maintain the norm and whenever anything changes, like when you start eating less, your body will actively resist that change, especially if it's really drastic. So if you eat way less and you start losing weight really quickly, then your body's going to respond to that. And even if you're lucky enough to lose some weight at first, it can get to where results eventually become non-existent. So now some people call this starvation mode. You heard that? Yeah, I'm sure you have. Have you heard it? It's very common. I see it all the time on social media, especially. Starvation mode, which is, they say essentially that it shuts down your metabolism and it kind of makes it basically impossible to lose weight. But there's one thing about starvation mode, it's not real.
Unless you're actually starving. Like literally not getting enough food to maintain your body's physical.
Sure, if you're actually starving, then yes, your body responds to being starving.
But that's not what people are talking about in this situation.
No.
I just want to be really clear.
But starvation mode, just as a thing, like your body, oh, I eat less, my body's in starvation mode, that's not a thing. But what it can feel like, and what is actually happening, is something called metabolic adaptation, which I will explain. You don't have to know what that is. The good news is that there's actually a pretty simple explanation for how it works and what you can do about it. So there are two major things that happen with metabolic adaptation. Number one is that your metabolism literally does slow down. And so that's where, in fact, that's kind of where the idea of starvation mode comes from, is like, oh, it's shutting down your metabolism. And there is a little bit of that happens with metabolic adaptation, but the amount of change that happens to your literal metabolism as a direct response to weight loss is really very small. In fact, if it were the only aspect of metabolic adaptation, it would be pretty easy to work around it. It probably wouldn't fully stop weight loss as much as it would just marginally slow it down. And you, to be honest, you might not even notice it.
Oh,
So-
most people
Don't notice.
that their metabolism's slowing down.
They might feel like their metabolism is slowing down. That's the point I'm making here.
Okay.
And it might slow down a little. So that's number one, but it's just a little bit. So number two, what it actually does is it slows your body down, or your body, I guess, slows you down in general. So in other words, you burn less calories, not because your metabolism is slowing down, which kind of makes the term metabolic adaptation somewhat misleading. But what it's doing is you're just not moving around as much during the day. And the tricky part is this happens subconsciously. So it's not something that you're going to notice. Your body's going to slow you down, and you'll ultimately be burning less calories from that.
And what that looks like is like less fidgeting, less pacing, less moving fingers, and just like the little things that you do throughout the day that you hardly notice.
Even just the number of times you might get up from the couch might be less without you noticing that you're doing it, because you're feeling like, oh, I'm tired, and so I'm just going to sit here. But you're not thinking that, it's just happening. So, yeah, but the point is you're not going to be aware that you're doing anything different from normal. And yet it can cause you to burn several hundred less calories throughout the day, every day. And it definitely makes weight loss more difficult because of that. So you can't stop this. You can't stop your body from adapting to this completely, but you can limit how much it affects your goals. So as far as your next steps and what to do about this, the key to getting back on track and losing weight for good is to find that sweet spot with diet and exercise. So number one.
Can I say it?
You may.
Chill out with the cardio.
Yeah. So the excessive bouts of cardio that many people do, like I know you raised your hand and said that you did
Yeah.
at some point, and I have done too. I used to run, and I'm not saying cardio is bad, so let's not go there. Cardio is definitely great for your health, but we're talking about for your body adapting to this. Trying to lose weight specifically, cardio can break down muscle and bone, which can just exacerbate the conditions that cause your metabolism to literally slow down. So instead, what you want to do is prioritize strength training, which has the opposite effect and will speed up your metabolism in the long run. If you don't like cardio, this is really good news, right? If you do enjoy it, it doesn't mean you have to give it up. Like I said, it's not bad, but you might want to consider scaling it back while you're trying to lose weight. So it just depends on how much you're doing. It can definitely make a difference and cause you to to have more adaptation that slows your metabolism down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one, is scale back or just chill out on the cardio. Don't think you got to do a ton of that. Number two is, you want to say this one too?
No,
Okay, you were just really excited.
Yeah.
Because you hate cardio?
No, because I think it's what's the word? Overused,
Overrated?
overrated.
Okay.
That's the word.
Yeah.
I knew you knew what I was trying to say.
Yeah. So number two is get your body moving, which I wonder how many people might hear that and go, but you just said don't do cardio, so what am I supposed to do? So since the main part of metabolic adaptation is that your body subconsciously slows you down, you can actively fight back on this by doing things like walking, playing actively with your kids, just dancing around your living room, doing extra yard work, or even deep cleaning the house.
Getting up regularly throughout the day, just being intentional about lower impact.
Yeah, and a good way to do that a lot of times is just check your step count, see where you're at, increase that a little bit. But the point is, anything that is not a workout, so don't just do a bunch of cardio, don't do a bunch of extra exercise, don't do big intense workouts every single day, because really what we're talking about here is just something simple, something easy. Exercise in moderation obviously is very important, but if it's your main source of staying active, it's just another thing that your body's going to resist by slowing you down the rest of the day so that you're burning fewer total calories. So like I said, the easy stuff, that doesn't affect your body as drastically, and it makes that non-exercise activity, all the things we mentioned, or whatever you can do that doesn't feel like exercise, it's a better course of action for how to make up for the adaptations that your body is experiencing.
Well, anytime we have a client who's struggling, they don't want to eat less, but they want to see their progress moving up, we get them to either start moving more by playing with their kids or going on a walk, and that's when they start getting that a regular part of their life, they start to see the progress that they want every time. Yep.
And I mentioned the step count. A lot of times that's what, if that's something they track, then we look at increasing that by a certain amount. Mm-hmm. And if they don't track that, then we track the amount of time that they're spending doing those easy non-active things so that they're increasing that until they get the results they want. So definitely very important, very underrated thing to do. The third step is to stop dieting. Stop dieting. So you definitely still are going to pay attention to what you eat, but you're not going to just diet, because typical dieting focuses on what you can't eat. Mm-hmm. And if you want to eat in a way that's good for your overall health, which will have a positive long-term effect on your metabolism, and it'll still make plenty of room for weight loss to happen, it's more effective to focus on adding to your diet. So you need more of all the things that you likely don't get enough of already, such as protein, high quality carbs, healthy fats, just minimally processed foods in general, and lots of veggies.
Definitely.
So all of these things, all these nutrients that you're not getting are things that you should be focusing on adding and putting into your diet, which ultimately is going to help cut down on the things that you don't need as much of. But when the focus is on adding, it's more likely to
enrich your diet, add nutrition, and help you be able to curb that hunger and avoid overeating on processed foods.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better. So the other thing that most popular diets do, and why we say don't just hop on some diet, is that they try to get you to lose weight way faster than what's healthy. Ugh. And it's because, to be honest, that's what a lot of people want. I mean, that's what everyone wants. If we could all just drop weight real quick, that'd be great. But it's not healthy.
It's the expectation, too, that diet culture has made, too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a pet peeve. No, not kind of. It is a pet peeve of mine.
To me, it's sad because it's what you might expect, and it's what a lot of times people go, oh, this diet's really working for me because I lost a bunch of weight real quick. And to me, it's sad because I know that the outcome is generally
lean mass and
it's just unhealthy. You're going to gain the weight back. So, and remember, I guess going into why that happens is because the more drastic of the change that happens to your body, the more extreme your body's response is going to be to it. So if you want to keep your metabolism running as normally as possible, rushing through weight loss by cutting out every food of your life that could potentially be labeled as unhealthy is not the way to do it. That's
Yeah, I'd say like the more drastic a change you make, the more intense the responses of your body to maintain that balance that you've given it. And so any big change, your body is going to fight you harder on. But if you do it slower and slower, you can actually keep the change you're making and work with your body instead of against it.
definitely, you're definitely better off doing slower changes, kind of one step at a time. And yes, it's a slower rate of weight loss. But that's going to lead to a more cooperative metabolism with less adaptation, and ultimately it's going to give you more success with weight loss in the long term. So, which means you're going to be losing weight as quickly as you possibly can, for if you want to actually keep it off.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, that's not really slower.
No.
It's as fast as you can go to maintain your results.
Mm-hmm. And who doesn't want to stop dieting and not do it again?
I don't understand the question.
Well, like who's gonna want to like diet again because they didn't keep it up? I mean,
right? Yeah.
If you think about it in the big picture, it just makes more sense.
Yeah, you want to go fast and then get it all back, do it again, or just go nice and slow but consistent and eventually get to where you can maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Now there is a totally different fourth option too that you could start with rather than those first three steps that we just mentioned. And if you've been trying to lose weight for a long time, this one especially is one you might want to consider, which is taking a break for a while from weight loss, because it could be exactly what you need to let your body recover, get your head in a better space, and not make the scale the center of attention.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you do go this route, just don't make it a total free for all. You want to don't just binge and eat whatever you want. Eat at a maintenance level for your current body weight. So however much you weigh at the time after you've already lost some, or even if you haven't, just whatever you weigh right now, eat at a healthy amount so that you maintain that. So you're still tracking everything, keep making sure that you're not overdoing it. And then just continue to work on those same healthy eating habits that we're encouraging, and that you should be building even when you are losing weight.
I just want to say this. That's one of the most challenging things for our clients to walk through.
Yeah.
But it's also one of the biggest mindset shifts is like, how do I keep all this momentum and all these things and habits I've learned while I'm not trying to lose weight? Like, how do I just eat better and work on being better? And that's a really hard place to be, but once they kind of work through that and get in that mindset of not dieting, we see some pretty awesome changes and progress.
For sure. And you get to eat more food while you do it. So you're going to feel better. Your workouts are you're going to have more energy.
Sleep better.
Yeah, but you'll still be ultimately working on things that will help you with weight loss later.
Mm-hmm.
So, and your metabolism is going to go back to normal when you start eating more too, because metabolic adaptation is not a permanent thing. You can't just damage it and then boom, you're stuck forever. It will adapt, and you'll experience those same adaptations again when you start going back into weight loss. If you do, which I guess I'll touch on that too, because a lot of times if you just stop worrying about weight loss and just work on the healthy eating habits, you may not ever get to a point where you need to lose weight, because you may be close enough already where your body composition kind of changes, you don't lose weight, or you just are healthier because of all these things and you feel better, you feel good, and you go, no, it's not about the number on the scale anyway. So you might not need to do that at all. But if you do, you're still going to have those adaptations. You're just going to have a better chance of dealing with it effectively when it's not this constant battle day after day for months and months and months and months.
Physical and mental battle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so final thoughts. You have anything? Putting you on the spot.
Well, I do feel like that was a bit overwhelming. And it's hard to know, are you in that space? What should you do? So I just want to, I don't know what you're about to say, but I just want to lay it out there. Like, that's something we can kind of talk you through and kind of at least point you in the right direction. If not, work with you through coaching. We can kind of give you some guidelines of what the next best thing might be for you.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say?
Part of it, I guess.
Okay.
So,
Because if I told a friend all that we just said, I feel like there would need to be, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah, it is a lot. I think the most important thing that I want to get across is that your metabolism is not broken.
Yeah.
There's not something wrong with your body. Even if you're feeling like, oh, I'm in my 40s now and I just know my body's different. Yeah, it is different, but it's not broken. You can still achieve amazing goals. You could lose a bunch of weight if you wanted to. I want to stress that you don't even have to. Like, again, for me, it's not as much about weight loss. Like, we are not people who want to just get shredded and ripped and have six-pack abs. Like, that's not the goal for us. Just to be at a healthy weight in general. So maybe that's where you're going to end up being or like I said, if you want to, you can go further than that. If you ends up being something you're super excited about and you're like, wow, I'm losing weight and I'm doing good, then that's good too. Yeah. Your body is not broken. Your metabolism will work. You don't have to feel like, well, I'm just at an age now in a place in life where I can't do this. I've got kids, I'm too busy. No, there's still things that you can do and that can make it work. Yeah. So I'm good, and I am going to say this part one more time because I feel like after talking about all that, if you are having trouble losing weight, there's a really, really high chance that it has absolutely nothing to do with your metabolism. Yes, metabolic adaptation does take place, but normally that's not what it is. There are a lot of things that could be contributing to this. Like I said, it could just be that you're eating more calories. There could be plenty of other things. I won't even list all of them. There are so many factors that come into play. And with all of them, ultimately, the bottom line is still that you're eating too much or you're not being active. You're not hitting that right energy balance, which can either be you're eating too much of the wrong types of foods, or you're eating very little, but you're just not moving as much as what you think. Yeah. There's normally something that we can help you with. And that, to your point, is something that we can sort through, because I know it can be super frustrating to figure that out on your own, especially if you feel like, hey, I've been doing all this right. I swear you guys are wrong. Something's wrong with my body. I challenge you to come and talk to us, and we'll guarantee that we can get you results if you follow the plan that we give you. And we'll give you a plan that's doable. Like, it's not going to be some crazy thing. We get it. We have kids. Mm-hmm. We're at that point in our life too, where we don't have a lot of time for this, but we can show you what to do to make it work.
Yeah. Our goals are more, aging well, being strong as we get older, feeling better, and being there for our kids versus, like what you said, six-pack abs. And like, that's not our spiel. We just want to be enjoying our time with our kids and being able to age well so we can continue to enjoy our future grandkids, and one day that's going to happen.
And we want you to be able to feel confident about your own body, and that you don't have to wonder if you're doing something wrong, or if there's something wrong with you, if there's something wrong with your metabolism. We will remove that question and remove that frustration for you. So if you are interested in having us help you with that, then send us a message and let us know, and we'd love to help you out. I also do want to add, just as a side note, that if you do have a thyroid issue, which causes hormone problems and can affect your metabolism, we get that is its own separate thing than what we're talking about now. But I still want to give you hope and let you know that all of the principles that we talked about here still come into play for you too. Mm-hmm. It may be more difficult for certain reasons, but
to find that right balance for you too.
Yeah. More difficult, but still totally possible to get results. And there's no magic thing about it either. It's still all the same things. It's just a matter of finding the right strategies that are going to work
for you.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of show you some love for anybody out there who's like, no, I know I've got this thyroid thing, and it's like, yes, that is real, and it's still something we can work around. Yeah. So awesome. I think that's it.
That's great.
Yeah, I guess we will see you guys next time, right?
Yeah. Bye.